Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today every single Clan War League group finished, which means we have finally the results of the July Clan War League season. And we can, like always, check them in-game in the Clan War League section, and we have them over here. We finished in the top 4s. Really great achievement, even though I want to highlight that before people already typing into the comments and raging. Yes, we had one war gifted, but I think still we had a pretty good chance in getting to the top 4 because we had, like, against Son of 13 as well, like a 43 star and so on. So we had the chance to still get into the top 4. So the results overall were really good, or like the percentage as well, the destruction. We had a lot of 99% time first. That was pretty unfortunate, but I mean, it happens. That's part of the game, and we all hate it. So yeah, huge shout out obviously to Indian Clash, Darkest Muzan, and Nova. They did crazy well. There's a huge gap in between of the top 3 and us and like the rest of the world, I would say. And just to make sure that I can show to you guys that not like the best or like the teams with the worst groups were at the top, because there were actually a couple of tough groups in there as well. For example, the Nova group was really hard, and we had actually, which surprised us at the beginning because we didn't know any of the teams which were in our group in the beginning, but it surprised us because we had quite a few good teams in our group. So let's check out because like this ranking is working with like the group winners, and then it's like with the group second and so on, like every ranked. So let's check out the second spots, because you guys can see over there we have Maodo as well, which finished at 355 stars and didn't make first, because where the other Nova team was in that group as well, and they had 361 stars, so a little bit more. And then we have Team Kuba, which were second in our group. So we have a couple of top teams actually being or sharing the groups for the top spots. So really happy that our group wasn't as easy as a couple of players were saying, but still, we had the gifted 45. You still have, like, I still have to say that, obviously. So, but still, today and what we want to talk about is not only that we actually got into the top 4, but I want to show you guys the top 4, or few of the top 4 strategies which are right now in the game in one war. We use all of them in one war, and I just want to highlight all of them and see what you guys think. Let me guys know what is your favorite strategy right now. And I think we just get started with Hooker. Hooker coming in on this base with Dragbat. Dragbat is really strong still, especially because people like right now have to like figure out how to place their splash damage. Even though multi-infernators are having like a small comeback right now because Lalo being so strong, but still, most of the time those wizard towers are not placed against bats. Most of the time they're getting placed against now Lalo, sometimes against like hybrid, like putting them in behind of high HP buildings and things like that. But most of the time they're not placed that good against bats. And that's a pretty big buff kind of for the strategy. So let's talk about what exactly Hooker is doing. He's starting off at the bottom side, trying to create a funnel and doing a really great job on that with pushing his his king inside to make sure that he is tanking for his queen. Maybe he could have brought one wallbreaker in here to get like access to the enemy queen as well, but that's just a small point. Now he's getting into the base with the dragons, and even though this is still pretty widespread, I would say. Oh, and the queen died in her ability as well. I didn't saw that in the beginning when I was checking out the tech, but that's actually pretty huge because now the left air defense and the queen is not going down. So let's see how this is keep going, because the start isn't working out as perfectly as I would guess. Next rage onto the core, and this means he has like 6 bats and 3 freezes left. The next thing, which is really underrated, is going to be the ice golem, and I think the ice golem is a super important troop for all of those bad attacks because it's tanking so well. So that's pretty nice. And now, one thing which I talked about in the German video as well is because I had so many questions about this base, or like overall this base idea, and this is like about those things. This is what I want to talk about, like those holes in the base. Why the heck should people put their holes in the base just to make sure that troops can actually get inside or on the outside? Why would someone do that? And the reason is kind of simple, because right now the super wall breakers are that strong. I don't want to call them broken or anything, but they're that strong that as a base builder you have no chance to defend them. And that's kind of the unique thing about them. Back then against normal wall breakers you could place spring traps, you could place small bombs, you could place giant bombs, whatever. But this is not working against the super wall breaker. So you have no chance to defend that regarding traps. So what you have to do, you have to mess up the AI and how the wall breakers are working. So that is why there are always those holes in the wall, because you can't wall break in this part of the wall, which means you can kind of predict where people are coming in from, which means like someone has to wall break in here, otherwise he won't get into the wall. And if you're thinking like, yeah, that's pretty easy, just start your queen over here and walk inside, that's not as easy as it looks like, because the queen is most of the time going onto the outside and not going into the wall, and this is pretty bad obviously for the attacker. So this is something why this is out there and why it's so many bases. You have those missing walls on the outside. This is not because base builders are stupid, this is just a technique to kind of defend those super wall breakers. I just know that there are so many questions about this setup, or like about those setups in the wall always. I just wanted to answer that. Let's take a look at the next base, and this one was actually one of my attacks, because now we're getting into the second strategy which I want to highlight, which is Queen Charge Hybrid. It's still one of the strongest out there. It's still one of the craziest things you can do on bases, because it's that powerful, and at the same time it's comparatively pretty simple. Even though you have a Queen Charge, which most of the time takes some like idea on how to execute that, but except that it's pretty straightforward, especially the hybrid part, because that's not really hard to execute at all. So what I'm doing over here, I'm trying to do a double layer. I'm trying to get into this compartment, and then I want to wall break into this compartment. Those are the two closest compartments to my queen, which are actually closed, which means my wall breakers should target that. First wall breaker is coming in, and now the poison. And god damn it, I hate those like Inferno Dragons in the clan castle. They're so annoying to charge. It's so freaking annoying. Like, god damn it. I don't know. And now the second wall break, and wait, what? This I don't know. I actually, maybe I should, I don't know. Like, I placed my wall break over here. Maybe it's too far for the wall break to actually see this wall, and this is why he's going for this one. But except that, it makes no sense. And I don't know. Maybe that should be reworked as well, making sure that the wall breakers can actually see further into the base, so you could like have deeper wall breaks, because that's actually, I don't get it. Like, why is that in the game, to be honest? Like, why can't wall breakers see way further into the map? I don't know. Like, either way, at this point I was already raging on voice, like, what the hell is my wall breaker doing? Like, this thing is whatever. So I was already really mad, and now I still had to keep going, because obviously I couldn't just quit the attack. And so I just had to go with this. Now the hybrid part is coming in, which at this point is still like kind of like planned, because the only thing which went bad is kind of my queen. She should have been able to reach the eagle in there, which is now not the case. So the eagle is staying alive for way longer than I expected, which is obviously not the best thing. But because I wanted to use the heal spells kind of early on anyway, and now the eagle is on my king, which I don't care about. So this is totally fine for now. The next thing what I have to do is just make sure that my troops are kind of staying alive. Yeah, that's an easy and simple thing to say. Not that easy and simple to do, but still using the freeze early onto the eagle, onto the enemy queen and the warden. But still, there's so many mines on the outside still, which you can see at the bottom side, which are supporting like my king and my P.E.K.K.A. and my army of wizards is still alive. My Royal Champion has no ability left anymore, but still, she's going to survive, because the Hawk Riders are still alive and protecting her. And while my queen is doing the best things which she can do, because she's going and chasing for some walls, which is awesome. Maybe there should be at some point the Wall Headhunter queen skin. I don't know, maybe that makes sense. Oh, I think I saw already a couple of suggestions about the Wallbreaker queen skin, but either way, this was the Queen Charge Hybrid we did. Wasn't going as planned 100%, but still it worked out in the end, so happy about that. But now let's talk about the second guy who went perfect in our clan next to me, and this was Huss. I think he was basically doing the entire week Zeb Lalo, which you could say, yeah, he's easily abusing that and whatsoever. But to be honest, I wouldn't even consider saying that, because things he did were just crazy. He wasn't just doing like the classic Zeb Lalo straightforward and just triple the base, even though I guess he could have done that as well, but he was doing really creative things. So let's take a look at this. First off, he's splitting the Zebs, so he's getting the Inferno Tower, and the Queen and the Sweeper, which you could still consider being pretty normal. But the next thing is definitely not normal. What he's seeing on this base, he's seeing there are all of the expos on the right side. What is the big purpose of expos? The best thing you can do with expos is having to, like, being able to deny queen charges, of overall having a lot of DPS on single troops. For example, against Yeti Smash, against Hero Suis, for example, which he saw perfectly because there is no freaking damage on this side in the base. Like, there's no damage, which means he can easily do this Yeti Sui, or like the Yeti's tanking for his Royal Champion and then suing the Eagle. Yeti's being still alive, and now this part of the base is gone, and this means he can now get his second phase started with, which is the next Sui kinda, and this time he's going for the first scatter shot for the second multi-inferno tower, and this is just crazy, to be honest. Like, now the king is getting used, or the king ability. Queen ability is getting a bit of damage from the scatter shot, but still it's alright. Queen is now taking down the multi-inferno tower, and she still has her ability left. The king is still tanking, and this is looking really good. Now he's finally starting off with his Lalo, and the queen has their ability, using the ability to make sure that those Teslars are getting wrecked. Now the Lalo is getting started. The tornado trap was already kind of predicted on this side, so we did really great on that, because this means the Hound is tanking non-stop. Even though the elephant's at the bottom side, we were kind of thinking, or like he was kind of thinking, yeah, the tornado trap is most likely on the right side of the base, so the Hound should be caught over there for quite some time and should be easily able to tank all of this. Now he's getting with the last Sava Hound into the base to tank the back-end scatter shot. Now he's freezing, now he's hasting, and now he's overkilling the next base. So this attack was really cool. Like I said, really great attacks, really great ideas overall from him this week, and especially this attack impressed me pretty much because I was pretty skeptical of this being successful. But yeah, since he was like perfect until this moment in the week, I was just like, do it, do your thing, and he did what he was doing best and just tripled the next base. So yeah, really creative things with the Yeti blimp and then tanking for the Royal Champions, really nicely done. But guys, we have one more attack to go. What are we missing out? What are we missing out? We have Queen Charge Hybrid, we have Zap Lalo, we have Dragbat. What is missing? Yes, it's Yeti Smash. It's all-time favorite Yeti Smash. And we take a look at that one as well. EFJack was doing that one. No surprise over here, but still, he's doing it like always in style. So let's see what he's doing exactly. He's starting off with his Warden and a Loon on the right side, just to make sure that the damage over there is a little bit better for his Warden, because otherwise he would have needed to rage that Warden against those two Tesla in the Arch Tower. The next thing what he's going to do is he's dropping all of the Loons at the bottom side to make sure that the funnel is getting created, to make sure that his troops are actually going inside. So far, so good. He can get started really soon with his Yeti Smash. So 6 Yetis, 8 boulders are getting or about to get dropped into this base. And here we go. And yep, here we go with the Yetis and now the boulders as well. Now the Queen and the King. Yeah, the Minecraft King is going into the base. So far, so good. First rage really soon into the Town Hall. And now, next thing you guys might wonder, iTzu, where exactly is the Siege Bird going? There we are. Siege Bergs is going in from the top side. One thing I think which he should have done is using one Hawk Rider or something in front of the Siege Bergs, because now the Siege Bergs is opening way faster than expected, I think, because now the Hawk Riders are coming out already, even though, well, the Yetis and like the middle squad is still under attack and still trying to get some more value down. Even though most of the boulders just died because of this freaking annoying scatter shot at the top side, so maybe it wasn't the worst thing that the Siege Break was getting open so early. Now the Royal Champion Shield, and well, there's still pretty much a lot of base left, to be honest. So at this point, we were really concerned about the 3-star. But since I don't know how he's doing it, but I feel like most of the attacks of EFJack are looking pretty close in the end. But somehow with like perfect placement of spells, perfect timing of hero abilities and so on, he's always making it work. So if it's happening always, it's no luck or like whatever, then it's just skill. So let's take a look what he's doing. He's using his Queen ability, and with using his Queen ability, she's forcing the Yeti to the top side, which is key because now, well, the P.E.K.K.A is pretty low on HP. But now the Yeti is tanking for this P.E.K.K.A. and that's the cat. And that's kind of the key thing about this, because Queen is going to survive this anyway because she has her healers on here, on her. But the P.E.K.K.A. would have been dead without this Yeti tanking for him or for her. And yeah, now the Queen is getting back on track, following the troops into the last remaining 2 buildings, and this is going to be another triple. So nicely done to EVCheck. Great job. And well, guys, that's it. That's it for today's video. We had an entire war with the four of the best strategies in the game. In my opinion, I think the 4 best strategies right now in the game. Obviously, there are a couple of different variations out there of each single strategy, but still, overall, the 4 best strategies in the game right now in this entire war, in just one war. I hope you guys liked it. And guys, let me know what is your favorite strategy right now. And well, I think we will see each other tomorrow again for the next video. And until then, see ya and bye bye.